Good morning and welcome to Core Strength. This is Lily over here in the corner. She's already had her exercise, so she's not really interested in getting moving. So grab a couple of dumbbells and a mat or towel. If you are doing this on the replay, good for you. And I will be in Perkins Park in Newark, New York tonight at 6 p.m. Let's hope the weather cooperates. Just a note, if getting on the floor doesn't work for you, why not bring the floor up to you? So you could grab a sturdy chair, or I will be doing some push-ups and burpees. So just a word of warning. I'll show you an alternative. But you could always use like your countertop, or I've got my desk. So if you wanted to follow along and do these exercises, your floor could be up a bit higher. So that's a way to make this workout work for you. But I'll show you different options so you can make this the level that you need it to be for you. With that being said, let's get warmed up. So I'm going to put on my timer here that tells me you're going to get a 45-minute workout. So here we go. Let's warm up those muscles. We're going to start giving ourselves a kick. So we're getting some stretch here as we're warming up the back of the thighs. And we'll separate it out. Make it work. So we're going to cross and pull back. So squeeze chest and shoulders, pull back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then we'll do a bit of a brain teaser. And we'll put the two together for some good coordination. So here we go. So kick back, pull back. And when you come front, cross and squeeze those chest muscles. So you're thinking too. It's a brain exercise. Getting those muscles and joints warm and ready for exercise. So if you like to have some music with your workout, feel free to put on your favorite music. We'll get everything ready to go. And here we go with the next move. So we're going to reach down towards those toes, touch them if you can. Bend those knees, straighten those knees, roll that spine up. Again, hanging down towards those toes into that, bent like deadlift really, rolling up. So similar to a squat, but because your upper body is folded over those thighs, it's more of a deadlift, so really warming up the back of that body with this move for sure. Let's do one more of those. And then what we're going to do is a high pull, so with a squat. So we're coming down into that squat. Come up on those toes. Warm up those calf muscles too. We're getting things ready for the heart of that workout. You can really lift that chest toward the ceiling as you warm up those muscles and get ready. Let's do one more and then we'll do a shoulder warm up. So let's circle. So you decide how big that range of movement is, and then we'll go in the other direction. You know we'll be using all these muscles, so we want them warm and ready to go. Let's go get the other side. So make that circle. Modify as you need to. Smaller movement if you need. Let's go the other direction. Making it your workout, that's the idea. All right, let's get some warm up for those abs and those sides. So straight arms, plant those feet, and we're going to go side, center, side, center. So you're feeling those getting out of bed muscles as you turn to the side. Good stuff. Side to side. Couple more. And then let's do some more warm up for what we need to get warmed up is that upper back. So we'll go on all fours for this one. Let's make sure you can see me. So we're going to put a hand here, and we're going to rotate down and up. So you could do this from a standing position, putting that non-working hand on an elevated surface, a chair, counter, whatever works for you. But we're trying to rotate through that upper back and then open up that chest. And we'll do one more. Let me get that other side. So coming down, your range of movement. So if you're here, that's okay. Making this work for you. Opening up if you can. Rotating. And then we'll do my favorite, world's greatest stretch. Feel free to put your hands up on that counter, desk, chair, whatever's working for you. So we're going to come into a plank, knee plank, or on the toes. We'll step forward, so we're in a low lunge here. And we're going to bring the arm down, so right leg, right elbow. And then we're going to rotate through that upper back up towards the sky. And then we'll get some stretch on the back of that body. So we're dropping that left hip, getting some stretch in the front of that straight leg. And then let's sit back and stretch it. Just bring your toes in. If you can't reach, that's okay. Let's do that one more time on this side. So again, we're coming into that low lunge. If you need those hands elevated, do that. Put those hands on a chair. We're bringing that elbow down. And then we're going to rotate through that upper back, rotate up, drop the hip of that straight leg, that left hip, get some stretch in the front of that leg, and then we'll sit back. So if you're standing, both legs are straight and you're just taking a bow. Bring those toes in if you can, grab them if that works for you. So we're making this work. So coming back to a plank, knee plank works, and stepping forward. So we're in that low lunge again. We're going to bring the elbow down towards the floor, as best you can, and then rotating through that upper back up toward the ceiling. We're dropping that right hip, getting some stretch through the front of that straight leg, and let's stretch the back of this leg. So coming onto the knee, bringing those toes in, maybe pulling them in if you can reach, and then we'll do that one more time. So we're coming up to that either on the knee or bringing that knee off the floor and bringing your elbow down. And then let's rotate through that upper back, reaching up toward the ceiling, dropping the hip of that straight leg. So we're feeling some nice stretch through the front of that leg, front of the body gets tight when we're over those computers and phones, and then bring those toes in, grab them if you can. And what we're going to do is a little bonus we'll come into a plank and we'll walk those hands in and roll it up. We are ready to get into the heart of the workout, and it is burpees. So the alternate option with burpees is reverse lunges. So you decide how far back you're going. Otherwise, we're stepping. So it's a half burpee. I'll show you. So stepping or hopping back, and then stepping or hopping, and we just stay in that squat. If you need to come all the way up, go for it. We won't be able to fit too many in 30 seconds. Here we go. So hands planted, you can hop it back and come up, stay low, or you can step. Again, you can put those hands up on a chair or your countertop, hop it if you can, hop back, stay low if you can, or step it, it's up to you. And then if you can, stay low in that squat. I'm going between hopping and stepping. So wherever you are. All right. Yeah, it's very effective. We are alternating a curtsy lunge. So you've got options. You can stay up a little higher, or you're a speed skater, you can get low and even tap that floor. All right, we're definitely going to feel here. So stepping, so maybe you're staying up higher, or maybe a reach down, or even a tap. But we're trying to keep that chest as lifted as we can, rather than rounding forward. Definitely feeling those glutes, that booty. So then curtsy like the queen. It's okay to stay up a little higher. It's definitely got the cardio benefit. And shifting side to side, that unsteadiness is making that core work. Collarbones to mid-thighs, all the way around his core. Muscles that move the spine. Lots more than those, just those abs. All right. We're definitely going to get those sides with this one. So it's a squat and drive knee toward that opposite elbow. Here we go. We're alternating. So squat. Weight in those heels on that squat. We're about hip width apart with those feet. You could speed this up if you want more of a cardio benefit. This could be a mini squat and maybe a little smaller range of movement. Nice squeeze, get lower if you can, keeping that chest as lifted as possible, driving that knee up, squeezing that middle. Can we sneak in a couple more before we're saved by the bell? You got it. All right, definitely some cardio benefit with some of these. Let's grab weights. I'm using 5 pounds. Always do a squat to pick up or put down weights, protect that back. So this is a seesaw row. So a regular row is this, and we're alternating. So we make those sides work. With this bent over position, I want you to think shoulders rolled back and down in your back pockets, chest slightly lifted, so we stay out of that forward rounded position. All right, here we go, seesaw row. We're alternating sides, so you could take this slowly, or you could alternate. Sometimes it can be a bit confusing, so I'll slow it down. If you're there with me, remember, chest slightly lifted, shoulders rolled back and down, so those back muscles are engaged and we're in that good posture. We want those shoulders back, pulled back rather than rounded forward. We want to stay out of that forward rounded position. That is not the posture we were meant to have, and it can lead to some pain, especially that low back pain. Okay, you've got options here. We could jack this, we could kick or tap, so up to you. Maybe you'll need to just hold the weights for a bit. So here we go. So maybe you're tapping as you do that overhead press. Maybe you're doing a side leg lift. Maybe you can jack. Definite cardio. So I'll do the in-between. If you need to do the overhead press every other, if you can, exhale up on the hardest part, inhale down. Whew, yeah, it's a shoulder burner. It gets that heart rate up. Whew. Yes, very nice. Yeah, evil laugh. Okay. We're just holding the weights here or here. We're lunging forward and back, so I'm going to step away from my wall so I don't kick it. And we'll do all right leg. So we're stepping forward. Maybe it's a big step, center, and maybe that shin is coming parallel to the floor on that back leg, or maybe you're up a bit higher. You can take out that tap and speed up the pace, or keep that tap in. It's definitely a balance challenge. You've got that staggered lunge stance, so that anytime you're challenging balance, your core is working. And remember, there are lots of muscles in that core that move that spine, so lots of muscles to challenge. Let's get that other side. Here we go. So you could just hold the weights at the side. You decide how big of a step. Trying not to kick that wall. Maybe it's a smaller step, more of a mini lunge. And maybe you can take that tap center right out. Up to you. So there's those options for those different levels. You decide how fast. You decide your range of movement. It's up to you. It's your workout. When you do the workout for you, you'll be more likely to come back. We are going to do so we've got 90 degrees, the top half of that bicep curl, and then that abduction. Abduct away. We're working those rotator cuffs. Here we go. Top half of that bicep curl, elbows glued to your sides, we rotate out. Top half of the curl and rotate out. So going almost to the shoulders here. It's very much about the biceps, front of those upper arms. And then we're also hitting that rotator cuff in the shoulder with that rotation. If anything hurts, just take a break. pain is not your friend, and no pain, no gain is not our motto here. We want challenge without pain. Challenge is fine. Pain, no. Front squat, so we're just holding the weights here. We've got the weight in the heels, about hip width apart on those feet, and here we go. So you could even lift your toes. We keep that chest as lifted as we can in a squat, but we do bring those hips back from the side. It looks like this. Bringing those hips back, pressing through those heels to come back to start. Maybe it's more of a mini squat. Maybe that's what's working for you today. That's okay. You make this work for you. Or maybe you can get nice and low, but keeping that chest as lifted as you can, keeping those shoulders pulled back. Very nice. Getting those legs. All right, are you ready? Do you remember what the top of the list was? It was that half burpee. So if you need to have those hands up on a chair or your counter, or I've got my desk, or on the floor. I'll show you that. I'll show you a couple on the floor. All right, so we're coming down basically into a plank. We step or jump it, step and come here, or you can jump it, jump. Maybe from that elevated surface, you're stepping back, stepping forward, coming up, stepping back, stepping forward, coming up. Up to you. So coming into that plank and staying low in that squat, step it. Yeah, it's tough, it's cardio. I won't lie. Oh, saved by the bell. All right. So alternating curtsy lunges. Curtsy for the queen. Here we go. So you can stay up a little higher. You can add that reach down, maybe even tap like a speed skater. So you could think of this as a 3-point skater lunge is another term for this. Maybe you're up a little higher. You're definitely feeling those glutes in this. And we're challenging the core quite a bit as we shift that weight, that unsteady surface. Keep tapping down if you can. Oh yeah, feeling those glutes, feeling those thighs. It's all good. All right, that squat to that knee tuck, so come down, drive toward that opposite elbow. Your range of movement, weight in those heels, that squat, drive that knee up and squeeze that middle, alternating. So you decide how fast. Maybe it's a mini squat and maybe keeping that knee a little lower. The idea is we want to drive that knee up and squeeze that middle. So we are targeting abs, and because we've got a bit of rotation, we're targeting those sides, those obliques, and then those thighs, which are part of that core. Remember, mid thighs, and those glutes, they're part of that core. Lots of muscles. That's kind of surprising, I know. Okay, seesaw rows. Remember, shoulders back and down in those back pockets, chest lifted straight back. Here we go. So we're alternating, we're pulling back. So maybe you're going slower, or maybe it's more of that pulling motion. From the side, I'm going to slow down so you can see I've got my shoulders pulled back. My shoulders are not rounded. We want to avoid that. We spend a lot of time slumped, whether it be for work, sitting forward over that computer, that phone, or just watching Netflix. So we want to make sure we're in that good posture for our exercise. Here's that overhead press jack. So remember, you've got options. You could do a tap or a leg lift. I'll start with the jack. If you're going for it, maybe a tap, maybe in between with that leg lift. So some great balance. Maybe you're doing every other. Maybe that works better for you. If you've got it, your shoulders are going to feel this. So it's still cardio with those leg lifts. It's just that lower impact, which is a little more user-friendly. Good stuff. Ooh, those shoulders are talking. Front of those shoulders. We're doing a forward reverse lunge combo. Weights here or here, just giving you a little extra challenge. You could do this without weights if you wanted to. All right, here we go. Just getting enough room so I don't kick back the wall behind me. Here we go. So we're lunging forward without right leg coming center, and then reverse lunge. You can take out that tap center if you want. Whoa, it's a balance challenge. Maybe you're keeping that back knee a little higher. Maybe that's working better for you. Or bring that shin parallel to the floor if you can on that back leg. Yes, it's definitely a balance challenge for sure. All right, if you're mirroring me as far as pace, I had to sneak in that last little one. All right, here we go. Let's get that other side shake. Shake those legs out. Ooh. I know I don't give you a bunch of rest, do I? All right, maybe you're happy when I explain. So you can be on the hips or let those hands come down. You can take out that center tap, tighten up that belly like you're taking a punch to help you with that balance. So engaging or turning on those core muscles helps you to balance a little out of breath. So it doesn't go so well with concentrating on what I'm trying to say. All right. We are doing that top half of that bicep curl. So imagine you've got your platter here and you're doing that top half, and then we'll do that abduction. Let's get those arms. Here we go. Top half of that bicep curl, elbows glued to those sides. We abduct away. We're rotating out. Keep those elbows glued to your sides so you're isolating the rotator cuff from the side. I'm going almost to the shoulder, but I do have a bit of space so that I keep those biceps working the whole time. Ooh, and you really feel that when you're holding that top half or that halfway mark. Ooh, yeah. Okay, we are, where am I? We are at a reverse. Oh, I missed this on the last one. Well, we don't want that to happen. So we'll do just one side. That makes the core work harder. So we're going to do a reverse lunge to an overhead press. Yeah, my weight disappears. Trust me, it's a straight arm overhead press. Here we go. Reverse lunge, and then we come up to that overhead press. You could even, if you want, you could bring your knee up and to the balance challenge, up to you. So anytime you have weight on one side of the body, that makes those sides work hard. They're part of that core to stabilize you. Plus, as I said, the lunges, reverse whatever direction, forward, they make that core work hard. So lots of ways to challenge. Far more than those abdominal muscles. That tends to be what people think is abs when we hear core. But it's all those muscles that move the spine. So lots of muscles in the trunk. Here we go. Reverse lunge, overhead press. As I said, if you want, you could add a knee drive. Whoa. Yeah, that's a lovely demonstration. Yeah, you could do that. I'll just do the version where I'm not losing my balance on live video. Laughing and balancing don't go so well together. Smiling when you exercise is a great thing, but if you're trying to balance, sometimes you need to be serious. All right, we're going into that front squat, and then we're heading to the floor. The sweat is real. If you're not sweating, I'm sweating for you. Weight in those heels on that squat, just holding some extra weight for some extra challenge. Shoulders rolled back and down in those back pockets. Those toes could even be a little bit lifted. Those hips are going back toward the wall behind you or whatever's behind you. My weight is in my heels. My chest is lifted. So the only reason my upper body is coming forward is because of that hip hinge. Otherwise, that upper body is staying in place, just moving with those hips. So rather than rounding or folding that upper body over the thighs. All right, we are going to the floor. So always bend those knees when you're picking up, so squat, when you're picking up weights or putting them down. Nice time to grab a drink. I'm going to move that camera down. I like to work with a mat. I could work on my rug, but I just like a mat. So if you're using your rug, that works. mostly because I have a dog whose fur is the same color as my rug, and I don't want to wear that because it's not the same color as my clothes. Okay, here we go. So we are, for our first exercise, I better make sure we have room for this lovely exercise that probably requires an evil laugh. So it is going to be, you can be on your knees or toes. I'll show you on your toes. So it's a push-up, and then we're bringing the leg out to the side. So you could certainly, I'll give you a little break here. Calm before the storm. So you could do that elevated, and lift that leg to the side, a little bit different. All right, from the knees, nose, yeah, right. From the knees works too. All right, so I'll show one on the toes. So bring that chest down as low as you can, come up, and then lifting to the side. It's really challenging. Yeah, I need to build back up with my push-ups, so I'm going to drop down to my knees. You could come up on the toes for the leg lift, or you could stay on that knee and do the leg lift from there. The push-up is a moving plank, and a plank is a great exercise for the core. So push-up is definitely working the core, in case you thought it wasn't. All right, we're doing a side plank. We're doing threading. So I'm going to be up in a high plank. Sometimes that can be hard on the wrist for people. So what we're going to be doing is threading. You could certainly come down to your knee. You could come down to your elbow. The weight doesn't work for me. So your elbow would look like this. So I'm just giving you a little break after those push-ups. Certainly okay to drop your knee or elevate your hand on that chair. All right, here we go. That shoulder is getting some attention. So I'll start, so we're creating a lot of unsteadiness. I want to be over the shoulder, over the hand with that shoulder. So if you can bring that knee off the floor. You could even stack your legs. That won't be pretty. All right, I just stay there. So that bottom side is getting a lot of attention. And because we are moving, we're really challenging that side. Whew. Let me see if there's another side thing before. Nope, going right into that other side. So again, you could do forearm. You could elevate that hand. So I'm going to do that high plank. I'll start on the knee. Okay, making sure that shoulder's over that hand. So we're reaching up and we're threading underneath. So you decide, maybe it's just more of a reach down towards the floor. Maybe you're just hanging out. Options. Maybe you're just hanging out in side plank, laughing while I'm trying to balance. Yeah, that's more of an exercise that I prefer to do on my own, because if I fall over, only Lily sees that. If she's in the mood to be in the office, she likes the air conditioning. She's pretty good. I'm surprised. My cat's outside meowing, but he's not coming in because he's not good. He just wants me to feed him. All right, bird dog. Bird dog is great for stabilizing that lumbar spine, that lower back. So what we're going to do is we're going to straighten opposite arm and leg. If you're here, that's okay. And I'll show you another option. If you want to bring knee towards opposite elbow and crunch, that works. Or maybe you're tapping down. When you straighten that leg, I want you to squeeze those glutes, that booty. Think apple rather than applesauce. Again, if this is plenty of unsteadiness, stay here, build up to this. Or add that knee to elbow, crunch in the middle. So you've got options to make that bird dog. So that's a great balance challenge, believe it or not. Bird dog is the balance challenge. So opposite arm and leg. Yes, people have asked me that. Okay, so straighten. Maybe bringing that knee to that opposite elbow. Squeeze that glute, that booty. When you straighten that leg again, if just bringing the knee and hand off the floor is plenty of a challenge, build up. I tend to, sometimes I have the palm facing down towards the floor, and sometimes I have the palm facing towards you. So, Doesn't matter so much. Okay. We are, oh, this is a wonderful challenge. We need, well, we're doing both weights. So you won't get in a lot of repetitions. That's the good news. Let's just go over plank form before we do this, because this is really important. So you can come in and out of plank as I'm going over this form. So we are going to be in a high plank for this. You could absolutely elevate your hands with a chair, counter, desk, whatever. So in plank, we're shoulders are over those hands. You can join me, come in and out of that plank as you need to. We're driving those heels back. We're imagining that we're pulling up our tights, so we're squeezing those leg muscles and drawing them up toward the hips. Squeezing that middle. We've got that back as straight as a board. So here's a couple of things that tend to happen when people get fatigued, when the plank is, they're getting tired or the plank is too hard for them. They either lift their hips and then the plank isn't very effective, or the hips drop and that's a back injury waiting to happen. So dropping to the knees would be a better option. And with the exercise we're about to do, you might want to just be in all fours, and I'll show you the exercise. So we're really challenging. You could do this without weight. So from that all fours position or from the plank, we're going to do a front raise and a side raise, and we'll alternate. All right, are you ready? Yeah, this is tough. So all fours works. You could even stand up and do that move. You would want to hinge at the hip, a little bit of a bow with this. All right, so I'll start. I'm going to put my feet wide. Oh, that's right, we're timing this. We're not doing this endlessly. I'm going to put my feet wide in that plank, and I'm going up and to the side, and up and to the side, dropping to those knees if you're there with me, up and to the side. Remember, you can elevate those hands on higher surface, or maybe you're in that all fours, and this is plenty. Hey, we're really challenging those shoulders no matter how we do this. So make sure those hips, oh, we gotta finish. Maybe you're already finished, maybe you're already even. So really feeling those shoulders on that one. Gravity was helping us to get even more benefit. That's a tough one. Okay, I gotta think about this one. Okay, you could do this without dumbbells. What we're going to do is we're going to hold a crunch. So I want you to flatten that back on the floor, squeeze those abdominal muscles to lift those shoulders up. And we're just going to reach and hold. Is there more to this? Yes, there is. I thought there was. So we can do a single leg lower. Maybe a bent knee works better for you. Do this without weights if that works better for you. Take out the crunch if you need to. All right, so we're setting up that crunch. We're lifting those shoulders off the mat. We're squeezing those abs, and we're lowering those legs. So holding the top of that chest press, so those chest muscles are working. Maybe a bent leg is a better choice for you. So if you need to take an element out of this, please do. You can keep the leg a little bit higher. This is a tough move. You can bring those shoulders down and take out that shoulder or that isometric crunch hold. So different options. Oh, I alternated. It was supposed to be one leg at a time. Well, we'll just have to do another set. Not yet. Okay. We're doing a seated hip hinge. So it's basically the top half of a sit-up, and then we're twisting. So if you want to do a whole sit-up, you're certainly welcome to. Here we go. So we're sitting tall. We're hinging back, coming up, and twisting. Hinging back, coming up, and twisting. So just adding a little extra weight if that feels okay to you. Maybe one weight is a better choice for you. So a sit-up can be pretty challenging for your back, and it's not for everyone. And there's certainly plenty of ways to strengthen abdominal muscles without a sit-up. So this top half of the sit-up, the seated hinge, is a great way to strengthen those abs without so much challenge for the back. All right. Now what we're going to add to that seated hinge is we're going to come back, we're going to press forward and come up. Or maybe you'd rather do the press forward when you're here. So when you lengthen those arms, and maybe it's you're keeping a bend in those elbows, long levers, so straight arms or legs with weight especially, you need to tighten up those abdominal muscles like you're taking a punch. Protect that back. Here we go. So we're sitting back, pressing forward and coming up. Sitting back in that seated hinge, pressing forward. Maybe you're doing that press here. Maybe you're doing it both at the bottom of that hinge and at the top. So up to you. Tighten up those abs, protect that back. If that back is hurting, maybe you need to take out that press. All right, that felt long, didn't it? Here comes the dead bugs. Dead bugs, this is a thinking exercise for sure. So opposite arm and leg, straighten, and then we'll alternate. All right, so get ready for those dead bugs, 90 degrees on those knees, those fingertips up toward the ceiling, and those opposites straighten. Nice challenge for those abs again. You're welcome. You could keep a bend, whoops, in that knee if that works better for you. But if you can straighten that leg, go for it. And you're feeling those legs too, for sure. Remember, long levers, that's calling on that core more. Straight arm, straight leg, long levers. All right, whew, feeling those hip flexors too, those front pockets. Windshield wipers. So we're getting those sides stabilized, and you can go side to side or a straight leg, which long levers harder. So just until you feel those sides work, those getting out of bed muscles. Here we go. So I'll start with that bent knee. Nice squeeze on that side, or you can straighten up that leg. So I just go until I feel that upper back starting to come off the floor and those sides getting a nice challenge. Some people do like to tap the floor, but I find this actually more effective if I stay up a bit higher and really engage those obliques, those sides. We've got a couple of options here. We can do a reverse plank. You can tap down and lift. So this is definitely getting the back of the body. It's all about the back of the body. Or it might be better for you to come into a tabletop, tap down, drive those hips up, squeeze those glutes, that booty. You're going to feel those arms. You're going to feel the back of that body. All right, so I'll start with that reverse plank, coming up straight as a board, tapping down, driving those hips up, squeeze that booty. If that's working for you, stay there. If that tabletop bridge is more for you, drive those hips up, squeeze that booty. You could be against the wall and doing a reverse plank. That works too. So definitely feeling the back of those upper arms, those glutes, that booty. So we're hitting those triceps. We had to hit them because we got the biceps. And, all right, we're getting the triceps again. We're going to do a glute bridge, and then we'll add skull crushers. How are we doing on time? We've got time. All right, let's do the glute bridge first. The closer those heels are to your butt, the more you'll feel those glutes work. So we're driving the hips up, apples. You can hold the glute bridge the whole time if you want to. If your feet are farther away, you're going to feel more hamstrings and quadriceps. But this is a glute bridge. So the idea is we want to challenge those glutes. They get lengthened when we're sitting. And then we'll add those skull crushers, and you could hold the glute bridge there, or just focus on the skull crushers for those triceps. So you've got options. Let me show you, just in case you're wondering what a skull crusher is. Coming down at 90 degrees, like we're trying to crush the skull, we're not really. Can be a little easier to put those weights together. And you can come in and out of that glute bridge or hold. All right, so heels in, and we're coming down for that skull crusher. Maybe you want to tap down when you lift those hips. So tap down with that glute bridge if you need to. Make sure those heels are walked in. You're lifting those hips, those glutes, that booty are apples. You can put those weights together. We're definitely feeling the back of that upper arm with this, for sure. Those triceps, again, you're welcome. Okay, just skull crusher, what a fun name. Okay, we are not going to do the push-ups again. You know what? We are going to do the push-ups. We're going to take out the side kick, unless you want to do it. So if you need to elevate those hands, please do. I'm going to show both a knee and a toe pusher. Remember, moving planks, we went over that plank form. If those hips are coming up or sagging, drop to those knees. All right, here we go. So maybe you're coming wider with those feet. We're bringing the chest down towards the floor. If you want to do that, oh my goodness, I really need to work on my push-ups. If you want to do that side leg lift that we did earlier, go for it. I know you're feeling tired. I just wanted to give you a chance to work those chest muscles a little bit more. Push-up is a great body weight exercise. So if you're trying to build some strength, you don't have a lot of weight, your body weight is a great way to do that. You can get those results that you're looking for. All right, let's do that side plank with that threading. So again, you can hold here, you can be in that elbow plank. I'll show this with an elbow plank this time, or you can be in that high plank. So we're threading. That elbow plank may feel a little bit better. Maybe you're bringing that bottom knee off the floor. Maybe you're stacking. So there's a little more stability with that elbow plank. That elbow is under the shoulder. I'm working hard. It's hard to think. You certainly could hold the plank and take out the threading. It's just that movement causes that core to work harder, because as you're moving, that core has to work hard to avoid you rotating and falling over. All right, here we go, threading. So you choose the version that works best for you. Remember, you can elevate that arm, that hand on a chair or a desk. Maybe you're lifting that bottom knee, or maybe you're even stacking. Keep in mind, I've been exercising for a long time. I certainly didn't start out with these exercises. So you respect where you are today, and every day's different. Some days I'm ridiculous and I fall over. It would be quite humorous to watch me do my unbalanced balance exercises. Okay, let's do that bird dog. Such a great exercise. So that opposite arm and leg. So stabilizing that lower back. So straightening, squeeze those glutes, that booty. Maybe you can add that crunch in the middle. Remember, if this is plenty of instability for you, stay there. So yeah, and I'm facing the floor sometimes with that palm, or sometimes the palm is towards you. Make sure you really give that booty a nice squeeze when you straighten that leg. Remember, long levers, straight arms and legs makes for a harder exercise. We really want to strengthen those muscles in the lower back, because low back pain is so common. All right, opposites. I had to think which opposites I hadn't choose. All right, here we go. So we're straightening, maybe adding that knee to elbow crunch, or go ahead and put the hand and knee down. Remember, when you straighten that leg, give that glute a nice squeeze. Imagine it's an apple rather than applesauce. If you're here, it's still a great exercise for stabilizing that spine, that lower back, strengthening those muscles in the lower back, which are also part of the core. How are we doing? I think we might have a little more time before we do a quick stretch. I know people aren't fans of stretches, so I try to keep that brief. Okay, so let's do a seated, we'll make this our final exercise. Since I already made you do push-ups, we won't do the one with the forward press. So holding those weights, we're going to do a twist. You could do this without weights. So seated hip hinge with a twist. So it's basically the top half of a sit-up, and then we twist and squeeze that side.
So you decide how far you're going back. You certainly could do a complete sit-up if that's where you are. And you could even do this in a chair easily. Sit back in the lazy boy. So you sit forward in your chair and you imagine that you're sitting back in the lazy boy. But your back is the lazy boy. You got it. All right, let's do a quick stretch. So we'll make this, we'll come up into or down dog, drive those heels down, get some stretch in the back of the body, and let's just make this a little bit of a core exercise as well. So bring a leg up, and we're going to bring that knee in and then across. We'll drive that leg up again. Come into down dog, press those heels down towards the floor and drive those hands and feel that stretch down the back of those legs. Let's do that on the other side. So bringing that leg straight up in that single leg stance, and then we're going to come out, knee towards the elbow, knee towards the opposite elbow with that nice crunch. Drive that knee up, and then one more time, we'll bring those heels down and do that nice stretch, and let's walk those hands in and roll that spine up, and we'll clasp hands behind, lift that chest, pull back. We're getting the front of that body. Actually, here's a great way to do that. So stay here if that's working for you. Or you could do camel. So maybe you're here, maybe you're here, maybe you can come here and really get that nice stretch to the front of the body. Those muscles get so tight when we're sitting forward, so we want them stretched out. We did that plank, so we'll do a little for those wrists. So either here and rock, and we can get those biceps here if you can turn those fingertips towards you, and a little rock if that feels okay. So getting some nice stretch through those wrists and through those front of those upper arms, and then we'll get the back of the upper arms. You could do one at a time, or for the sake of time, touching the back of that neck, pulling those elbows back. Feel the tricep stretch, getting some stretch through the chest and front of the shoulders as well. Let's get those sides. So actually what we'll do is we'll do our half kneeling stretch so we can get a bit more for the front of that thigh on that kneeling side. And then we'll get that other side. And I think we'll be good. Yes, we will. We got that 45-minute workout in. Good for you. You're awesome. Have a great day.